Week 1 begins Thursday night in Kansas City. Ravens and the Chiefs, rematch of the AFC title game from a year ago. Of course, Scotty, we are going to have some new faces, a few of them on each side, but none bigger, I guess you could say, than for the Ravens at running back. Derrick Henry in the backfield now behind Lamar Jackson. He is very excited to start the season Thursday night in KC under the lights.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just football. I've been playing since I was 5 years old. But the atmosphere and, it being the first game at night, them coming off a Super Bowl, it being at home at Arrowhead, which the environment is going to be loud, it's going to be hostile, but that's what you want. I mean, especially on opening night, everybody watching the first game of the year to kick off the 2024 season. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun, so I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, Mike, this guy's finally on a real team, and you can quote me on that. He did it all himself in Nashville. I've never once thought he had anybody in front of him, and he was super special on his own, creating havoc for the NFL. No one could stop him. Imagine what this guy's going to be like on a winner. He's on like a team that actually has a line and that has a great quarterback and now has a great, powerful, forceful back. I mean, this guy literally, I think Kansas City's got their hands full Thursday night just having this guy hammer into the line at them. They play everyone and they beat everyone. They never lose. And when have you seen them play anyone like this guy coming at them in their opener? This guy having Lamar Jackson and King Henry coming at you at the same time, that's a problem. Do you remember the, Christmas watching the Ravens, what they did to the Niners? They did that without this guy. Imagine what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree. I think this is going to be a good one. It's still sitting at a flat 3 with a 46.5. And look, there used to be this thing about this opening Thursday night game, right? The team that won the Super Bowl always wins, etc. I watched the Lions beat the Chiefs last year, right? In Arrowhead. We watched the Lions beat the Chiefs in the opening Thursday night game. So it's not unheard of. And I think it's very possible, Scotty, for the Ravens. I do lean Ravens a little bit here. As much as we don't like them on Coast to Coast, I do lean Ravens a little bit on Thursday.
Listen, I hate them. They're my, problem in the NFL. I will not deny how much I dislike them. But that has neither here nor there when it comes to if they're not playing the Steelers, I have to deal with the realities of who they're playing, and I want them to win. I hate them, but I want them to beat the Chiefs because I hate them more. Even though the Ravens are in the North in my Steelers division, I'm fine with that. The Steelers, in my opinion, aren't going anywhere. Like, they're not winning that division. I don't believe that with those two hack quarterbacks. And you can quote me on that, too. There's a reason why the Steelers got Wilson and Fields. I mean, honestly, they didn't just get them because they're like, oh, we're better than everybody. We're going to go get whoever we want. No, they got that washed-up Russell Wilson. And they got a guy that throws more picks than anybody in the NFL who's got fleet of foot. So great, Fields can run, but what did he do in Chicago besides fail and lose and throw picks? I mean, he sucked. So I'm not excited about their offense at all. Zero, nada.
And let me throw this at you. You know how much I love giving you numbers because this will be talked about a lot the next 2 days. Lamar Jackson as a regular season underdog. 12-0-1 against the spread. 12-0-1 against the spread as a regular season underdog.
I almost just fell out of my seat.
And he's 9-4 straight up. 9-4 straight up. He's won 9 of those games outright as well as an underdog. So bring it over. Give me the Ravens right there. We will come back. And the other game is in Brazil Friday night to kick off the season where no one's allowed to leave their hotels. But let's go have a game in Brazil. The Eagles and the Packers. I'll give you a little bit on that. The numbers.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere to a game where my odds are higher to be murdered than they are to be drunk. Yeah, I don't get it either. That's that global NFL. But can we pick a place that there isn't, just absolute bloodshed every time you turn a corner? I mean, honestly, like, people think Brazil's lovely. Brazil is not lovely.
It's like, look, there's a clip that's making the rounds right now on social media. It's Darius Slay, of course, Eagles cornerback. Whether it's his podcast or it's on somebody else's podcast, I got no idea. But he was basically saying, like, we've been told multiple times, and they're about to head down there clearly, do not leave the hotel. Stay in the hotel until it's time to go to the game. And then he said, I told my family, don't even come. What's the point? I can't see. Don't even come. I don't want you there. I'm not going to see you. I don't want you to get hurt. Like, what are we doing here? Josh Jacobs of the Packers said the same thing a couple months ago, that the league had told the players and started briefing them like, listen, this is the deal here. You can't wear this, can't go here, can't do that. Why are we having a game there then?
Yeah, why?
Like,
it makes no sense.
It's just nonsense.
Let me tell you something. These people like soccer. They don't care about American football. I don't want to hear it.
Growing the game, Scotty. We have to grow the game globally, is what we're doing there. I mean, England was enough, and Germany, wherever they go to Europe, they have to start heading. So Antarctica's next, Scotty. We're going to play a freezer bowl in our Antarctica in a couple years. That'll be big crowds. Lots of penguins and sea lions are going to watch the game. That'll be the NFL's next trick. It'll look cool on TV, though. So we're going to make sure that we do that.
I've always loved Eskimo pies. Delicious.
Here's Jalen Hurts as the Eagles get ready to start a new year. Another offensive system now, of course, with Kellen Moore running the show and Nick Sirianni pretty much out of the way of the offense.
Listen to this guy. He's like on heroin the way he talks.
This is a really good team. It's a really good team. They got a lot of really good players, have a really good quarterback, and running back and receiver core, and the D-line is really good in attacking the ball and creating problems up front. And we just, it comes down to preparation. You guys have heard me say it enough. How we prepare and how we have prepared. And having the opportunity to display that and compete against a really good team.
So he went to the Super Bowl, right, and lost. Yeah. And then, so is he overrated? Because he went to a Super Bowl. People think he's this great quarterback. Like last year, he was so awful. Like, honestly, at what point do people just say he's overrated? Which guy is he? Is he the guy that went and lost? Or is he the guy last year that couldn't get out of his own way? Which one is he? Is he Trevor Lawrence? Is that who he is?
Yeah.
Overpaid.
I think we break the tie this year. A lot of people would like to tell you that he was hurt all year last year. I think that's what a lot of people want to tell you, that he wasn't himself, injured, the offense wasn't good. We'll see, I guess, because, you can't have that excuse 2 years in a row. So you got to be, like you said, you got to get back to 2 years ago. When you went to the Super Bowl, you had this dominating offense. I know one thing, that line's going to be a little different, right, Scotty? A couple guys are a little older. Kelsey's gone. That offensive line, which is such a strength of theirs, is going to be a little different. We shall see for them as they get ready to go.
They have the best receiving core in the NFL, and let's see if he can get him the ball.
Let's see. I don't believe that either, by the way, that they have the best receiving core in the NFL. I don't think that's the case. But we shall see if they can get them. I'll tell you, Barkley's going to make him better, though. Barkley's good. When he plays, -2.5 for the Eagles, 48.5 Friday night in Brazil for this second game of the NFL season.
Listen, I think Philly needs it more, believe it or not, based on their atrocious end of last season. The second half of last season was atrocious. I think they need it more, but I still think Green Bay's better than them. I like Green Bay in this game, and it is what it is. I can see the Eagles winning. I don't think it's the end of the world if they win. Like, what am I going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Every game, 2.5, 3 and a hook. Every game, like 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. You have no idea what's going to happen. I know this. You have no idea what's going to happen. Although the key will be, will they get out of Brazil without anybody dead?
Well, I think, the thing for me with the Packers is obviously now people know about them, right? Made the playoffs last year, beat Dallas. They should have beat San Francisco. They melted in the second half. Yeah. Love's second year. All those defensive coordinators, Scotty, what have they been doing for the last 8 months? Sitting around watching all the Jordan Love tape, trying to figure out how to stop him this year. So that's the thing for me. Love and Stroud, right, on Houston. Those are the two guys. These guys all spent their entire offseasons trying to figure out how to stop those two guys who had huge years. Here's the rest of the slate for this weekend with the NFL, of course. We told you about Thursday and Friday night. We're going to talk about all these games all week long. I want to give you the numbers at the beginning of the week, as I always like to do. Here we go. Patriots are in Cincinnati, where they will face the Bengals to start the season off. Minus 9.5 now for Cincinnati. The Bills open with Arizona at home. That's at 6.5 right now. The Giants and the Vikings. Giants getting 1.5 at home, Scotty, against Sam Darnold. And the Caleb Williams era starts. The Bears are 3.5-point favorites against Tennessee.
Well, they better win and cover with the amount of hype and bullshit we've been listening to and watching on their stupid Hard Knock shows and all the attention they've grabbed and all the awards they're going to win. I've heard Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Super Bowl. That's all I've heard about the Chicago Bears. If they go out and lay an egg at Soldier Field in the opener, that'll be all you need to know about this season for the Bears. They have to win and cover, not just win. They have to cover for all of the bettors. I think the Giants can win their opener at home because they suck that bad. And I am not buying the Minnesota Vikings to Sam Darnold. I'm buying the suck Giants to win their opener and get everybody all teased up and drunk. The Bills will win in Buffalo, shuffle off to, like you read about, count on it. And the Bengals have to win, even though I'm hearing from my sources deep within the Pentagon that Joe Burrow will only be throwing to T. Higgins all day long because they have no other talent.
That is the word.
Is he going to play?
I heard that as well. I heard that too. But here's the good thing for them this week. They're playing what is absolutely going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. The Patriots will be, no doubt about it, the worst team in the National Football League. And man, what a shame that is. That is how the mighty have fallen up in Foxborough.
How will I ever make it through the fall and winter this year with the Patriots sucking? I mean, honestly, what will I do with myself?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to love every second of it. The Steelers will open their season in Atlanta against the Falcons. They're getting 3.5 points. Jacksonville is in Miami against the Dolphins. Dolphins, actually, I just saw this, Scotty, move to 3.5 up to this second. Houston is in Indy. That is at 2.5. And I'll give you this tip now. The Joey Prawns Week 1 special. The Carolina Panthers into New Orleans against the Saints. Your boy Joey Prawns is backing Dave Canales and the Panthers to win outright on Bourbon Street.
I would rather back Cannoli than Canales. And I'll take Stroud and the Texans. I'll take Tua, your boy Tua and company at Hard Rock. I'm going to take the Stellars on the road at Atlanta because the Falcons will never live down the Super Bowl. I don't care who their coach or quarterback is. And, I that Panthers-Saints game, he can, I love Joey Prawns like no other, but I wouldn't watch that game if you paid me, honestly. The Panthers and Saints, I'd rather be pregnant.
He's been talking about that one for months. What
could be worse than that game? I mean, we'll talk about that. I'd rather pick my teeth.
Before I give you the next set of games, Tampa is going to be home for Washington coming up on Sunday as well. But Todd Bowles, Scotty, I mean, it's only been a couple years since the Washington football team, now known as the Commanders, but won't always be known as the Commanders, changed their name. Todd Bowles still has not gotten the memo, though, on his desk.
I think if you find yourself just facing a rookie quarterback, the other 10 guys are going to kill you. So we're facing the Redskins. We're not facing Jaden Daniels. They got 10 other guys that we got to worry about as well. So we don't look at it as facing a rookie quarterback. We're trying to beat the Redskins.
Listen,
two in the jar. $2 in the jar for Todd.
Once again, I will go back to the well. They should have never changed their name, ever, no matter who it offended. Honestly, did Florida State change their name? The Seminoles? Did the Atlanta Braves change their name? Honestly, I think that Washington Redskins should be the Washington Redskins. They should have always been the Washington Redskins. You know what? They haven't won since they were.
Very true. Here is the late slate, the 4 o'clock East games on 4 o'clock, 4:25 East games coming up on Sunday. Vegas is in L.A. to start the Harbaugh era for the Chargers. That is at a 3 right now. Denver into Seattle against the Seahawks. Cowboys and Browns Browns, Scotty, minus 2.5 favorites over the Cowboys. And that Washington game against Tampa, also at 425. The Bucs are 3.5 points against Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Look, I think Baker Mayfield and that Bucs team is better than anybody gives them credit for. They made the playoffs, and they were an interception away from beating the Lions. I mean, nobody wants to talk about how close they were to beating the Lions. Mayfield threw that pick, and that was all she wrote. I like Dallas in Cleveland, and I think Cleveland and Schwartz, best defense coordinator, at least in the league, as far as I'm concerned. That guy was meant to be a DC. I'm going to go Seattle at home. I think they're sneaky good. I like their new coach and their defense and Geno and their receivers. They are, untalked about. Like, nobody's saying a word about them, and like they suck or something, and they stink and have no team, no chance. I think that's insanity. I think Denver's the one that sucks. And I think Jim Harbaugh will win his first game in Lipstick City.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Cowboys. I'm going to bet against Deshaun Watson until he gives me a reason not to, Scotty, because he sucks. Yeah. I'm just going to bet against him until he gives me a reason not to. Here's your primetime game. Sunday night, Rams are in Detroit. Rematch of that playoff game from last year. minus 3.5 for the Lions. And Monday night game is, of course, the Jets and the 49ers in San Francisco. I did see that move to 4.5, Scotty, since the Williams news this afternoon and the McCaffrey news.
Well, I think the Niners will win at home at Stonewashed Jeans. And my guess is the Lions will win. But look, I think the Rams are going to be way better than anybody thinks because they got a great quarterback. They got great receivers. If they're healthy, I think they give the Niners a run for their money in the West. And I think the Lions will be the team that everyone has bet on to win the Super Bowl. And they'll be the new Falcons. The team that choked will never live it down. Teams that choke never live it down. I don't care what you say. It happens every time. The team that chokes, and they had it all, it was right in their fingertips, and then they're going to go right back to the Super Bowl. No, they're not. And everyone's got them winning like 14 games, and they're going to win. Oh, the Lions are the greatest team ever.
You know what?
That's all I hear about. The Lions. They'll probably win their first game, but I like the Rams. I think they're going to be better than people think.